Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Banderas.
Incredible videotape. Hello, I'm Greg Jarrett. The violence started when one drug gang moved into a rival gang.
All right, well, the search for a missing fighter pilot off the coast of South Carolina is now a recovery mission to find his body and the plane's wreckage. The Air Force says originally from New Jersey, the 32-year-old Giglio leaves behind a wife, a young daughter, and a baby on the way. Greg. Military blaming a deadly attack on its elite Revolutionary Guard on the U.S. and Great Britain. Media says a local rebel group is claiming responsibility. The U.S. State Department is even strongly condemning the bombing and denies any reports the U.S. had anything to do with it. Serve their country gallantly, wounded warriors who have paid a huge price to keep our country safe. But for many of them, that isn't an easy stories of courage and patriotism. Hello there. Wilkes, thank you very, very much. Greg? It was an event that captivated the nation for hours, and now we have confirmed we were all. Washington heavyweights sparring over health care reform today. The main point of contention, a government-run insurance option, and what level of support for such a plan could be expected in the House and Senate. Julie Kurtz is live in Washington. Well, now to the saga of that Colorado boy who was not in a helium balloon. It continues. A sheriff in Fort Collins now confirming the whole thing was indeed a hoax. So gets slammed with many possible charges, many of which could be obstruction of justice possibly, or tampering with evidence, let's say if he got his kid to lie to police. But how about at a woman who says that he was quite violent and agitated at times? I mean, the guy's track record is ridiculous, not to mention that one domestic call where red eye, and it got dismissed because she didn't prove the media, and he tells the public that he believes firmly that the father is telling the truth when all the while he had his suspicions. He managed to get Richard and his wife to come into the police department without a lawyer. First, before you react, go ahead and roll that tape.
I fell out of the chair.
To all of us today, because he said you basically did the defense a favor. Because
obstruction, tampering with evidence, filing a false police report, lying to cops. What do you guys see?
Not a long time.
No. What about the fact that they wasted time? The FAA got involved. The FBI is going to be meeting with federal authorities. It's the bottom of the hour. Time for the top of the news. In-depth report in today's Wall Street Journal noting that businesses are taking more control over employee 401k plans. For the past 30 years, most of us have been allowed to pick and choose what investments we want in our account. So why the change? Is there an upside for employees, or is this a deal? Well, Dominic, any problems that you see with employers taking more control of our 401ks?
Well, I think, it seems like these participants have fallen into
problem. I guess you say many workers simply don't understand the power of investing on a pre-tax basis.
Absolutely, Julie.
Solution here, maybe auto enrollment?
Well, we have auto enrollment.
Because you say that most employees simply don't know what to do, or they need help, or else they're not going to meet their retirement goals. And the Social Security Administration has estimated over the next 2 years it's going to pay out more than $29 billion more than it's going to take in. That's kind of scary.
Remarkable.
Some of us.
Don't look at me.
What does that mean?
Well, it gives us a great opportunity to save. So even small,
maybe we should retire early. Get it now while you can? Is that no? All right.
We still have to save.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day, Julie.
I was trying to find the tunnel for you, but there is no light. Sorry, Craig.
The ugly truth is I'm younger than you, or at least I look younger than you.
No, you are. You are so much you.
I'm young at heart. Did you see this? I love this. This is my favorite segment of the day.
What is it?
They shoot, they score. These guys are a wonderful cause. So stick around for Dude Perfect coming up.
All right, cool. Politicians can make some pretty wild promises, but wait until you hear what the mayor of Moscow is for 2 big military parades along Red Square every year.
Yeah. Talk to Tyler Toney. He does the tough ones because he's the former quarterback. Garrett Hilbert, Cody, load of money, all to help children.
Very cool.
Good for them.
And no money in it for them. They just do this all for charity.
And they're still full-time students, so they do it in their spare time. And they're good students, by the way.
They could be paid athletes, it seems.
Yeah.
They should try out for the Knicks. They could use a little help.
Oh, boy, could they. Yeah.
All right. Well, new poll numbers on which GOP contender.
Hey, you know what? Never too early to start handicapping the favorites to run against President Obama in 2012. Rasmussen reports. Actually.
Well, you know, the governor knows.
Let's talk about lifestyle choices.
Don't look at me that way.
First of all, I live a very healthy lifestyle, but let's just say cigarettes. You asked people whether they think they should pay more when it comes to health care. Interesting question for health care.
You're killing me.
But the fortunate thing is that even if you did work for the government, people disagree that you should have to pay more for health care if you're overweight.
You know, I've lost 25 pounds.
That's correct. By 2 to 1.
And I gave up smoking 25 years ago. Go ahead, Scott.
Lot of reluctance. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, Scott Rasmussen, thank you very, very much. Hey, follow Scott and his polling prowess on Twitter. Twitter.com/Rasmussen poll. Follow him on Twitter.com.
Okay.
All right.
You love beating up on me, don't you? Just how many soldiers does it take to find Osama bin Laden one very powerful day?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new hour inside America's News Headquarters.
This is Julie Banderas, and I'm Greg Jarrett.
Auto police knocking the last of the air out of that balloon boy story. The Larimer County. So where does the case go from here? William Lodging by watching a live remote last night before Geraldo because the dad was going to hold another news conference. That never happened, and they snuck out the back. And apparently somebody forked over the cash for them to stay in a hotel last night because they are now. I hope it's not loose somewhere. William Lajeunesse, thank you very much. Well, still ahead, we're going to look at the actual financial cost of the incident, plus a timeline at how the case unfolded for police. It's a very interesting one. That's later in the hour. Pakistani troops now taking the fight to the Taliban stronghold along the Afghan border. Well, the White House leaving the ball in Afghanistan's court when it comes to sending additional U.S. troops. The Obama administration saying. Caroline Shively, thank you. Well, a manhunt underway at this hour for the person who stabbed a University of Connecticut football player to death. 20-year-old Jasper Hurricane Rick growing to an extremely dangerous Category 5 storm off of Mexico's Pacific coast, the strongest hurricane in the eastern North Pacific in more than a decade. The hurricane is packing winds of nearly 180 miles an hour as it churns southeast of Cabo San Lucas. Forecasters warned Rick could bring treacherous surf to the region. And we've got Addy from AccuWeather. Thank you very much, Joe. Greg?
Hey, and
Lion successfully launching an Atlas rocket into space.
Julie?
A third person has died after taking part in a so-called cleansing ceremony at an air.
Bottom of the hour, time now for Top of the News. The father accused of staging
a passionate speech against upping troop levels in Afghanistan from 91-year-old Senator Robert Byrd, saying our troops are there for hunting terrorists, not nation building. I'm a little concerned.
First-time guest and first-time guest, long-time viewer.
Hey, well, then we're very proud to have you on, and thank you for watching and now coming on. I'm a little concerned about one thing that Byrd asks here. He asks, should our mission in Afghanistan be any more than finding bin Laden, then do we really need 100,000 troops to accomplish it? Now, let's back up for a second. How can anyone, first of all, say that the mission in Afghanistan is solely to hunt down bin Laden? I mean, a lot has changed since 2001, and that is not the sole reason why we're in Afghanistan in the first place.
No.
This senator is an ailing 91-year-old. He has been in the hospital more in the last year than he's actually been on the Senate floor. As you mentioned, he rarely votes anymore. He rarely speaks there either. Wednesday, with the help of aides, he asked why the generals Petraeus and McChrystal are buying into the mission creep of nation building in Afghanistan. Obviously, this is going to pose a rift, obviously, among the Democratic Party when it comes to Afghanistan. President Floor to voice his opposition. I'm wondering how many other Democrats are sitting in the wings thinking they're going to follow Senator Byrd's lead. Very much, writer of the LA Times, top of the ticket political blog. Very great having you on. Thank you very much.
Great to be here.
All right, so
you've probably wondered how much of your hard-earned tax dollars went into chasing down that big empty balloon.
Factor in all the flights that had to be either diverted or canceled, and there are incredible costs associated with that because they essentially had to shut down the Denver airport during that period of time that everybody was chasing.
The FAA was involved in this. That is a federal agency, and the question is, this week, could they face more charges, federal charges? What do you think?
And the answer is absolutely. I think they could face both state and federal charges.
Combine those two. What's the maximum you think he could get in jail?
Well, it's hard to know at this point, depending upon. But I mean, you could look at many years behind bars, 5, 7 years. Wow. And they may likely lose them.
Yet more new questions and concerns stemming from the potentially deadly H1N1 virus, perhaps more commonly known as swine flu.
passed it to the pigs, can the pigs pass it back to the humans?
In fact, are hurting badly in this country because of that. Now, you talk about how there's pigs that have developed the virus in other countries, possibly a vaccine for the pigs. Is there one out there?
That was mentioned in...
About more research being done by the CDC into all of this. Does that include research into the safety of the vaccinations that are being passed out right now?
About how different churches are doing things a bit differently nowadays in order to avoid contracting the flu or getting any germs on you. And a Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll actually did an interesting...
Shoulder right now. I get plenty of that. But look, if you do the fit...
So
good advice.
Hand bump's probably better than a handshake, but still, give an elbow.
Okay. Again.
I like the bowing
Somebody
thing.
Call Human Resources, please.
Do it for us.
Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace begins right now.
Ooh, I gotta
oh,
wash
that
my
hurt
hands.
too.